Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hey guys, how you going? I'm in a weird mood today. What is going on? Maybe because I ran out of cigarettes finally and I'm not going to buy any more, so here we go. I'm going to try and give up completely now. I've been on and off for ages, but I'm trying to stop completely. Okay, how you going, Shannon? Out to lunch. John Paul. Who else have we got? Robin, how you going? Deb, how you going? Alex, how you going? MJ, how you going? Menacing Muskrat. Carl, how you going? Dennis Beers, how you going? Who else have we got? Dealey, Dan Markle Sr. And how far can I go back? David Morgan, how you going? I'm in a weird mood today. I don't know why. But anyway, we'll continue. Xenotron, how you going? Okay, and happy anniversary, is it? Out to lunch. Fred loves Donna. Donna loves Fred. 40 years this July. Aww. What should you do for your anniversary? Dinner at home and a movie. Or and maybe not a movie. Maybe your favourite documentary. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, what news have we got? Oh yeah. Okay. You know this whole submarine Titanic thing, right? All week. Okay, looks like it was a distraction. Looks like pretty much after they lost contact with the thing, they heard a noise, the Navy did, and nobody said anything. They just kept on reporting that they could hear knocking and stuff coming from the... It wasn't true. They knew it was gone days ago. It's because news of Biden is coming out. That's what they're trying to cover up. So that was not just, you know, a distraction. Obviously it did happen, but it happened way before. They were giving people false hope, saying they were hearing knocking and stuff like that. They just kept it going in the news cycles, so they didn't have to report on Biden, you know. What else have we got? Let's have a look at this one. Okay, Matt Walsh said the transgender was invented by pedophilic psychologists, degenerate quacks, lunatic sexologists, literal Nazi scientists and other assorted deviants. A collection of the most despicable monsters imaginable came up with all this stuff. Here are 5 names you should know. John Money pioneered the concept of gender identity. He tried out his theory on twin boys, who he abused and experimented on throughout their childhood. They both went on to kill themselves. Alfred Kinsey is the godfather of modern comprehensive sex ed programs. He came up with many of the theories of sexuality that are now taught as fact in our schools. He also enlisted a pedophile who raped children so that he could document the victims. Oh my God, orgasms. Volkmar, okay. Sigwich was a sexologist who coined the term cissexual. He argued in favour of exposing children to pornography and insisted that pedophilia should not be stigmatised. My God. This latter point was a common belief among many pioneers of the trans movement. Pedophilia should be stigmatised. It is not... Oh my God. What can they not understand? Magnus Hirschfeld, another German sexologist, he opened one of the world's first transgender clinics. He was an avid proponent of eugenics and believed in forcibly sterilising those who were feeble-minded. The Nazis would later implement eugenics on a massive scale. Erwin Gorbrandt, who knows, a leading scientist in Nazi Germany who performed one of the first sex reassignment surgeries. He helped design human experiments that were carried out on prisoners at this place here, Dachau? I don't know. In one experiment, victims were submerged in ice-cold water to study the effects of hypothermia. Many died. Is that the same one that they stuck people's arms in freezing temperatures and then broke them with a hammer? Shattered them? I don't know, but I heard that happened too. I don't know. This is far from a comprehensive list, but these are the sorts of people who give us trans ideology, a brutal, depraved, pseudo-scientific movement from the very beginning. An ideology pushed by monstrous quacks and dangerous perverts. I guess some things never change. Yep, I would highly agree with that one. Okay. Oh. Sydney Powell's come up. Okay, I don't think God has any intention of saving them. They all sold their souls to the devil many years ago, one by one. Eternity is a long time, and we had better get busy returning to God and working to save this republic. At Biden crime family, impeach Ray, and in response to Cat Turd saying, so let me get this straight. The Biden regime knew the submarine imploded Sunday, but used their media propagandists to push they're running out of oxygen story all week to deflect from Hunter's crimes. God save us from these scumbags and lowlifes. Sickening. So there you go. Now I've got to find where my bookmarks are, because that's where we're going to. Oh, there they are. Okay, Josh Hawley said that... Hawley? I'm having trouble pronouncing anything right now. It's not my day. The truth comes out. Sean, in response to Sean Davis saying, breaking, according to IRS whistleblowers, DOJ tipped off Hunter Biden about a search of his storage unit, prohibited investigators from executing a warrant on Joe Biden's guest house, and repeatedly prohibited charges from being brought against Hunter Biden. Are we surprised? Delay, divulge, deny. Okay, the Department of Justice interfered in the investigation into Hunter Biden's clear tax issues with a delay, divulge and deny campaign that ultimately shielded him by allowing the statute of limitation to pass on his tax crimes. Delay. Recurring unjustified delays pervaded the investigation, including in authenticating the message between Hunter Biden and Chinese officials. Investigators were told by US Attorney Leslie Wolf that there is no way a search warrant for evidence would get approved because the evidence of interest would be found in the guest house of former Vice President Biden. Divulge. Investigators found out attorneys for Hunter Biden were tipped off about actions relating to the investigation in advance. For example, Even as investigators had probable cause to search a Northern Virginia storage unit in which Hunter Biden had stored files, attorneys for Biden were tipped off. Deny. U.S. Attorney of Delaware David Weiss tried to bring charges in District of Columbia around March 2022 and was denied. Weiss sought special counsel status from DOJ in spring of 2022 and was denied. Weiss sought to bring charges in the Central District of California in the fall of 2022 and had that request denied in January 23. That's how they do it. Prolong it, put it off until there is the statute of limitations run out. Great. Isn't it good to find out the system that we live in is so, honest? Dishonest? Dinesh D'Souza said Durham pummeled Schiff to his face and did not hold back. Well, kind of. I don't know. I watched it. Durham gets feisty. Oh, feisty. With Adam Schiff during testimony. Your premise isn't right. What is wrong with me today? Okay. Special counsel John Durham. Oh, my eyes are irritated, I'll tell you that. Gave back better than he got from a number of House Democrats during a fiery hearing on Capitol Hill Wednesday. Durham appeared before the House Judiciary Committee to provide testimony regarding a lengthy report he released earlier this spring, detailing his findings into the origins of so-called Trump-Russia collusion claim, formerly called Crossfire Hurricane by the FBI. At one point, under questioning from Rep. Adam Schiff, the exchange with Durham got tense. Schiff, you also sought to get the Inspector General to change his conclusion. Durham, if you want to go there, we asked the Inspector General to take a look at the intelligence. Schiff, you thought it was appropriate for you to intervene? Durham said your premise isn't right. It was a bit weird anyway, but yeah, Schiff was bringing up things, I think it was to confuse, a language to confuse. Like Schiff was saying things that were even maybe mentioned in the paperwork, but yeah, taken it out of context and twisted. There was another fiery exchange between Durham and another Democratic member of the panel, Rep. Steve Cohen of Tennessee, who attempted to smear the special counsel's reputation after he concluded that the evidence he found exonerated then President Donald Trump of any collusion allegations, while citing the FBI for launching an investigation that wasn't based on any credible evidence. I've tried to follow your report, Mr. Donald Trump Jr. Would have called it a nothing burger. You've got no convictions. You've got nothing. It was all set up to hurt the Mueller report, which was correct, and was redacted to hurt the Bidens and to help Trump, Cohen said. And you were part of it. You have a good reputation. You had a good reputation. That's why the two Democrats supported you. But the longer you hold on to Mr. Barr and this report that Mr. Barr gave you as special counsel, your reputation will be damaged, as everybody's reputation who gets involved with Donald Trump is damaged, he lectured. He's damaged goods. There's no good dealing with him because you'll end up in the bottom of a pile, Cohen added. No, I'd take your chances anyway, mate. Committee Chairman Jim Jordan allowed Durham to respond, who said, yeah, my concern about my reputation is with the people who I respect, my family and my Lord, and I'm perfectly comfortable with my reputation with them, sir. Well said, God bless you, Jordan responded. Throughout Trump's term and beyond, Schiff regularly claimed to have evidence that... What the hell? Started playing on me. Unless I tapped it with my arm, I don't know. Throughout Trump's term and beyond, Schiff regularly claimed to have evidence that the former president was working behind the scenes with Russia to undermine the 2016 election, but several investigations into the allegations turned up no such evidence. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has Schiff removed from the Intelligence Committee over the false claims. Durham found the FBI used uncorroborated intelligence when it launched its investigation into Trump before the 2016 presidential election, and that agents failed repeatedly to maintain strict fidelity to the law throughout the probe. There you go. And Clinton plan with a Steele dossier and discredited report of lurid allegations of Trump's personal sexual activity, which was all made up, which the FBI knew was being funded and promoted by the Clinton campaign, according to the report. Durham quotes information from a meeting between dossier's author, former British intelligent agent Christopher Steele, and FBI agents, as well as texts between FBI officials to demonstrate the agents knew the evidence was connected to Clinton. And there you go. Okay, let's like that one. Illuminati Bot said this is a 630-page report on the Biden laptop that thoroughly documents 459 crimes committed by Biden and their associates. 140 business crimes, 191 sex crimes, and 128 drug crimes. Free copy at Biden Crimes Info. Yes, and it's got a lot of stuff in there. Sure, things that you may not want to see, but, you know, you'll never get out of your head once you do see them, because that's how these things go. Rob said, can you believe this nonsense? Not long our children will be drawing rainbow flags in grade prep as the norm. Government grubs. Kylie McDormand. What's this? Sexuality? Love is love. Stop the hate. Ah, okay. Kyle McDormand. Remember this person here. He's honestly happy that the LGBT Foundation is finally speaking out for pedosexual rights. Love is gender and age blind. Did you see this? Do you see this? A child next to an adult? No. No. You're not going to get away with that. No. People are not going to get away with that one. Not on my watch. Il Donaldo Trumpo said, boom, love Lauren B. Okay, let's have a listen.
HRES-503 impeaching Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. Resolved that Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors, and that the following articles of impeachment be exhibited to the United States Senate. HRES 503 impeaching
Robinette. Hunter. Robin. I can't talk with this shit in my mouth. Okay. Hunter Robinette Biden. Okay. There we go. Old soldier said, I'm getting a little sad about the racist legal system. Husband and wife daycare fraud masterminds who shamelessly ripped off taxpayers after migrating from Iraq make a grovelling apology to Australia as they are spared jail. Husband and wife have been spared jail time for their role in directing a childcare subsidy fraud syndicate. Lovely. So we're just letting all the criminals go now. See, that's what I mean. I think overseas they're dumping their jail and maybe people who should be in an asylum into our countries. And then our countries are doing the same thing. They're just letting them go. What is going on here? I'm just going with the mood I'm in, guys, so please excuse me. I don't know, I'm in a strange mood here, so... GH17 TAF CAG says, kaboom! Trump hitting a textbook 3-year delta to the minute. Showing the text messages between Peter Strzok and Lisa Page on 21st of June, 1:52 p.m. Drop 4489. Haven't you figured it out yet? It's not about Trump corruption. It's about making sure you don't find out about their corruption. And that's exactly what Trump is showing you with those texts. House Judiciary got. Your FBI at work, Peter Strzok. Trump is not going to become president, right? Peter Strzok said, no, he's not. Well, this is Lisa, that was Lisa Page, sorry, this is Peter Strzok. We'll stop it. Yep, it's not about Trump and his corruption. It's about making sure you don't find out about theirs. He said, if you've been watching the Durham hearing, I want to wish you happy 3-year Delta, because this 3-year Delta is exactly what you see happening on the left. Listen to their horrible questions and treatment of Durham. On the left? To the left, to the left. I don't know. I can't find anything to the left. To the left. So there you go. But anyway, there you go. Yes, it is. It's about making sure nobody finds out about their corruption. Tim Poole said, ha ha, oh my God. The Heritage Foundation said both Serena and Venus lost to the 203rd ranked male tennis player, Riley Gaines. I don't know, I used to think these were both men, but I could be wrong. Okay? You know how it is, you know? We don't know anymore who's who and what's what, so who knows? But I used to think they were, but maybe they're not if they lost to the 203rd ranked male tennis player. Or maybe it's just because they were on, I don't know. I'm not going to say too much, but okay, after a Democrat witness tried to defend the absurdity that men have no substantive physical advantage over women, Riley Gaines put the witness' folly on full display.
Women
You
and
don't
some that are
believe
shorter.
that a biological male has a physical advantage in sports over a biological female?
Not as a definitive statement.
Give me an example. Well, no, I don't think. How many female members of the NBA do you see?
Well, I can say that, there's been this news article about men that think that they could beat Serena Williams in tennis, right? That they think that they could actually score a point on her. And it's just not the case. She is stronger than that.
What's your experience, Ben? Male, female?
Both Serena and Venus lost to the 203rd ranked male tennis player, which they're phenoms for women. My experience, my husband, he swam at University of Kentucky as well. In terms of accolades and in terms of national ranking, I was a much better swimmer than him. He could kick my butt any day of the week without trying.
Women
You
and
don't
some that are
believe
shorter.
that a biological male...
So there you go. Believe what you want to believe. I don't know. I did think they were, Wow, who knows? DC Drano said breaking. Adam Schiff's censure bill has survived the motion to table and will be fully debated around 5:30 p.m. today. Last week's bill failed at this stage after the coward 20 stopped it, but this time 0 Republicans voted against it. Bit progress, almost there. Yes, I believe Adam Schiff has been censured. So there you go. He's having one of the, spit John Durham, one of those moments. Jim Cross said, just wait until the effects of this divisive voice proposal really set in. Untouchables, really. Veteran truckie fights off carload of assailants in northern New South Wales town. Hello, can I click on it? Peter Dixon, 68, wasn't going to let them get his wallet, whatever it took. With time up on his book, the veteran truckie of 48 years had pulled up for a break at the Shells truck stop in Bogabilla in northern New South Wales, as he often does in his runs to Melbourne for the Gayndah-based Browns Citrus Transport. But at 2:30 a.m. on Wednesday, June the 14th, his alarm was just going off. He woke to find a masked intruder breaking into his cab. He was trying to drag me out, then I pushed him away as he made the fatal mistake of letting go of the grab rail and grabbing hold of the door frame, Dickinson told Big Rigs. When he grabbed the door frame, I shut the door on his fingers. Ow! I opened the door and he fell down on the ground. I asked him to give me the truck keys and he just come at me. As he fought to defend himself for the ensuing attacks, Dixon said he managed to subdue 2 of the assailants who he believed were teenagers, but didn't see a third who hit him across the back with a golf club. Dixon later found out there were 3 carloads of attackers at the Shell that night who had allegedly broken into a nearby motel, terrorising guests and stealing property and cars. He got me unexpected, hit me 3 times across the back, but they got the shock of their lives because I never went down. I turned around and said, "Who are you?" and they shit themselves and ran to the car. If they'd got me on the ground, it would have been a different story. I would have been in trouble. Dixon said he took the rego details of each car before they fled the scene, probably stolen cars. They never had the plates covered, so they had to have been stolen, I'd say so. He alleges there were 5 other trucks at the site the youths had been trying to break into, plus a camper van driven by an older couple who tried to drive off. Dickinson says the Shell attendant rang the police, but that's as far as it went. The coppers rang from Moree and they weren't that interested. They just said, if you see the cars again, give us a ring. God help us. I found out later that the attackers must have gone back to the Shell and bashed up another truck driver pretty badly. He's not real good in hospital from what I've been told. He'll need facial reconstruction. Dickinson says he fears for the safety of drivers and the youths who have no fear, and is telling his story in the hope it will help others. Well, one of these days those youths are going to come across someone they shouldn't have messed with and find out the hard way. They, the police, just seem too scared to touch them. They don't seem to want to do anything about it. Big Rigs also contacted New South Wales Police for comment, but at the time of writing have received no response. Viva Energy, which owns and operates the Shell-branded service stations in Australia, has also been contacted for comment. I've said to the coppers, you've got to do something soon, or you're going to get a truck driver who's going to drop a couple, and you can't blame them for that, Dickinson added. That's what is going to happen. They're going to come across someone they shouldn't have messed with, and they're going to go down. And then the media's going to go, ah, and make the truck driver look bad, okay? That's what's going to happen. We're just trying to do our job and have a break, and yet we're getting bashed. Another truckie whose husband regularly stops at Boggabilla on his interstate run says there have always been issues in the town, but lately it's gone up 200%. The police are saying don't stop there, but that's not the answer, said the truckie who did not want to be named for fear of repercussions. When these boys' logbooks tell them they have to stop, they got no choice. They have to stop. I don't know where to go with it. I really don't. You've got to hold them accountable. The children, the people who are doing it. That's what you got to do. And when people don't, and what is going to happen is, as I keep saying, someone's going to take one of those children down. So the media can't sit there and go, they hit a child. Well, you know, the children shouldn't be effing around and find out. David Pilates said Hunter Biden's plea deal violates the policies and procedures of the US Attorney's Office. Below is directly from their plea manual. Does anyone care he got special treatment? This involved the president's son, handled by Garland, who works for Biden. He's compromised. Brett L. Tolman said credit to Jenna Ellis Eskew for finding this still on the DOJ website. Diversion would not be available to anyone similarly situated to Hunter Biden. Absent approval by the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, any pre-trial diversion program created by a US Attorney's Office shall exclude any individual who is accused of an offence related to child exploitation or child pornography, or any offence involving sexual abuse or assault. Accused of an offence resulting in serious bodily injury or death. Accused of an offence involving brandishing or use of a firearm or other deadly weapon. A public official or former public official accused of an offence arising out of an alleged violation of a public trust. Accused of an offence related to national security, including terrorism offences or foreign affairs. Or accused of an offence in connection with the individual held a significant managerial role in a large-scale criminal organisation or in a violent gang. I'd say he's in all of them. What do you say? I'd say definitely. In which the individual held a significant managerial role in a large-scale criminal organisation or a violent gang. Just ask the Clintons. Nasty One Reborn said this isn't a gas leak blowing up buildings like this. No way, more like a bomb attack by those that beat up women and children in France a few days ago. This is an invasion. Huge explosion rocks Paris, apparently a few days ago. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. They always say gas explosions. I don't think a lot of gas explosions are gas explosions. You know that? Just put it in your mind for later, okay? Proud Elephant said, just in, rapper Kodak Black's lawyer reacts to the Hunter Biden sweetheart plea deal. Says Kodak was charged for the same crime and had to serve 3 years in jail for it. Hunter Biden shouldn't have gotten a long prison term for his crimes. What a disgrace. So there you go. Two-tier justice system. There you go. Yep. One person gets 3 years, the other person, oh, naughty boy. Naughty. Oh, you naughty boy. Off you go now. Patrick Henningson says, keep it cash. Note the logic. If some people want to rely solely on digital financial transactions, let them. But don't take away cash for the rest of us. My $50 note can't be hacked. If I'm robbed, I lose $50, not my entire life savings. If my $50 note is accidentally immersed in water, it still works. My $50 note doesn't need batteries. It can't be out of range and it won't break if it's dropped. If the system is down, I can still use my note. My $50 note can be put into a charity box or given to a homeless person. Sure, I use a card sometimes for large purchases, but for everything else, please leave me the option of cash. It simplifies life. And this is written into a newspaper, obviously, here in Australia, I believe. Yep. Well said. Big Bear 0 or O said, lol, who in their right mind is going to try and catch that? Sam Smith, who is a body positivity and uses they them pronouns, tries crowd surfing. It goes about as well as you'd expect. Ready? Straight to the floor, it looked like. I don't know. What do you think? Because anyone he would have jumped on, he would have squished them. Okay, people have said that this person was on stage with Vanilla Ice during a concert and is not Sam Smith. Okay, take what you will from that. Derek Bros said, I have a feeling something big will happen today. When was that? 2 days ago. Well, kind of. Yeah, more information came out about Hunter Biden. Oh, by the way, didn't the US government have an accounting error of $6 billion that went to Ukraine or something? So I heard. Defiant Else, John said, posted this. John Griffin, just did the math, we have count 'em. 4 stories about people abusing kids today, 3 up now. If we're society's mirror, you people suck. New York Post said ex-CNN producer John Griffin pleads guilty to child sex charge. Yep, it happens all the time. But just, you don't hear about those charges. Greg said, so you're telling me we put GPS trackers on sharks and can pinpoint their location to the nearest foot, but they forgot to put one on the submarine? Ian Miles Chong said, are cisgender and cis and cisgender slurs? Please share this poll for maximum sample size. A lot of people said no. I actually said yes. It is. Anyway. To me it is. Depends on your perspective. Offence is always taken, look, it's a matter of perspective. It's how you look at things. You can take offence to anything if you want. God knows, I probably have. I've taken offence to silly things. Okay, Christopher F. Rufo says a physician at a major children's hospital is blowing the whistle about transgender medicine, alleging that his colleagues have been captured by an ideology of sacrifice and have destroyed the lives of innocent children. So there you go. Physician, I believe it's because they bought into a false ideology of transgenderism. And when people have a false ideology, they need a way to separate themselves from non-believers and to express their faith to other believers. And if these rituals are not derived from a cultural heritage with moral tradition, they become susceptible to unbound human depravity. When you look at the Judeo-Christian tradition, you have the outlawing of child sacrifice and other ways that standards were codified. But in the transgender ideology, none of these guardrails exist. So what becomes the greatest expression of faith to other believers? To sacrifice the most pure and innocent. Once they do that, they become heroes. They become martyrs. They have their flag hung up at the White House, and there's no going back, because if they were to demonstrate any degree of humility, they would have come to terms with the fact that they advocated for and participated in a practice that destroyed the lives of innocent children. Catherine said, imagine being so gullible that you believe a man who has been proven to have no Aboriginal heritage whatsoever when he tells you he's Aboriginal, and you believe and fund this utter nonsense that Aboriginals were farmers, miners and traders living in towns. Congratulations, the ABC. Because they weren't. They were tribes fighting with each other, killing each other. Wasn't a good life for them. Okay, but anyway, let's not worry about truth at the moment. I mean, no one else seems to be. I mean, mainstream and half the people who believe them. Senator Babbitt said, I'm about to give a speech on restricting pornography in order to protect children. You can watch it here at alpha.gov.au. Oh, that... Okay. What is this? Can we see it? No. Okay. Dunno, but there looks like something, a few things here. Okay, but nothing happening in real time. Okay, Dr. Stella Emmanuel, MD, somebody pray for Nigeria. The Grim Reaper is in Nigeria. That is Bill Gates, the Grim Reaper. God help them, honestly. Don't let him anywhere near your health system. Dangerous. Evil Cummings said new emails show COVID vaccine mandates were based on a lie. Duh, we told you it was obvious. Yeah, the whole thing was a lie. Including the whole thing. The whole thing. Clown Down Under said, caption this. Oh, evil woman. I believe this is that lady who... Oh, how do I explain her? The one who's not the Aboriginal, who lives in inner city, who is the Gucci wearing, Prada wearing woman. Yeah, who thinks she's Aboriginal. That one. There's many of them. Sal the agorist, won a war, lost a war. Look at the medals, look. The won a war, okay? Look at how many to lose a war. That doesn't make sense, does it? New US military unit monitors social media for mean posts about current and former high-ranking officers. Oh, the poor loves. The poor dears. Do they need a cup of tea and a biscuit? A tissue for their issue? Teresa said tonight, Rep Lauren Boebert, sorry, I keep saying that wrong, introduces articles of impeachment against Biden on the House floor, which we just heard. Not the B, so this is not the, what do you call it? Satire. Not the B. Boston cops found 4 children in squalid conditions at a drag party alongside drugs and sex toys. So, in other words, being not the B, it's a real story. Because the B is satire. So I'm learning, okay? I don't know if I want to read this, but... maybe when we reach a point where people can go to a drag party with 4 children locked away and nobody cares and city officials try and hide it. I think we've gotten a bit too tolerant. Yes, this is a real tragic story from South Boston over the past weekend. Police were called to a transgender drag party at an apartment in South Boston because someone there had died, but the people at the party tried to keep the cops out of the dwelling. The cops found out why when they got inside and found drugs drag queens, sex toys, a dead body and 4 children locked up and living in squalid conditions. The apartment was in extremely unsanitary conditions. Approximately 6 adults who appeared to be males were seen in the apartment, they wrote, saying they subsequently found 4 children in the back bedroom being hidden by an adult male from first responders. I hope the police didn't misgender these dudes' pronoun preferences. That would be a court case in clown world waiting to happen. According to the incident report, the children ranged from ages 5 to 10. All of the adult parties were being uncooperative and did not provide helpful information. All adults present denied having children inside the apartment, they wrote. 5 to 10 years old. Just let me ask you, why were the children being hidden from cops at a sex, drug and alcohol fuel party hosted by 6 men in drag with no women present? We weren't allowed to answer that question, or even ask it, probably. Flaherty, public safety chairman on the council, told the Herald Monday night the dead body found on the floor was from an apparent overdose, and that a man wearing a wig claiming to be the father of the kids was found in a back bedroom. Multiple sources tell the Herald some of the adults were dressed as women when first responders arrived at the scene. If these men were priests, what do you bet this would be national news? Instead, it's in the Boston Herald and essentially nowhere else, because they're proud drag queens. The 4 children have since been taken into protective custody. None of the men at the party have been identified yet by the authorities. Sickening. Angry Aussie loves Australia said whether he's black, brindle or white matters not. What matters is he's out to destroy Australia, and Albo MP is beside him. This is the self-confessed communist, who's not even apparently Indigenous. Okay. Tony Strong said this bloke doesn't evidently have any Indigenous blood. These people are just main chances piling in to get onto the gravy train at the head of the queue. Do any of them look like downtrodden, poor, disadvantaged? They wouldn't offer $2 to anyone unless there was something in it for them. And that's according to this bloke. According to this bloke, that's... This bloke here, he doesn't have any, apparently. He doesn't have any Indigenous blood in him. At all. Elon Musk said they claim to have a wall between news and advertising, but reporters know full well who butters their bread. For example, there were non-stop bogus articles about electric cars on fire, even though they're 500 to 1,000% less likely to burn than combustion engine cars, says Elon. As soon as big car companies started advertising electric vehicles, those articles mysteriously disappeared. And it's in response to Jason saying, I'm not anti-farmer, but I'm pro-transparency. How much money do the New York Times, CNN, NPR, Public Radio and Fox News each make from farmer advertising? What percentage of their overall revenue is it? Has it ever resulted in editorial pressure? Americans deserve to know. Okay, so believe it if you want or not, that Elon claims that those electric car fires were all set up. I don't know. Sharon Snowick Borden said in asking my question, RE First Nations, I've seen 2 sides of people on here. Yes, voters are abusive, patronising, ignorant, naive, arrogant, foolish and vile know-it-alls. No, voters are civil, courteous, reasonable, discerning, knowledgeable, thoughtful, helpful, wise people. I don't know about that, but yeah, most of them would be. So there you go. They are, actually. They really are. The no people, it's more common sense, you know, compared to the yes people who are all emotional about it, you know. Clown Down Under said Anthony Albanese appeared on the project to speak about the voice. No details. Vote no, Australia. He's got no idea, and neither do we.
Would be determined by the Parliament. So our Constitution determines the bigger principle, and like everything else, the Parliament will determine, and that will change over a period of time as well.
But I think, as you've acknowledged, people want to understand this, right? So I'm giving you the opportunity to give that clarity.
It's that voice to Parliament elects.
It's word salad. He's not actually saying anything. I don't know if you're picking up on that, but he's actually not really saying anything.
People to the national voice structure.
Sure.
In Victoria at the moment, where you're sitting, there's an election at the moment of Indigenous people to their
PM, I'm
First
trying to keep
People's
this as
Assembly
simple
in
as possible.
Victoria.
I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible with respect, Prime Minister.
Would be determined.
You need to ask them yes and no answer questions, you know. Questions that they can answer yes or no to, and hold them to answering it with a yes or no. Because once they start, it's all word salad. They're actually not saying anything. Talking in circles, it's ridiculous. Dave MyFace said, welcome to Suncorp. A bank originally came from the BLACKHEATH peoples of the Rainbow Serpent. They also invented rugby league state of origin. Fucking amazing. Wonder who it'll be. A fat white prick, a skinny white prick, dressed in dead possum skins with didgeridoo microphones. Okay, they're not even Aboriginal. This is clown world. This is absolutely clown world. Look at this. They're not Aboriginal. Oh my God. Oh. What is going on here? Rosita Diaz said 2 things became clear yesterday. Voice campaigners are coming for Australia Day and the Albanese government has no idea what the long-term consequence or powers of the voice will be. Secret papers released by the Victorian Labor government show that the voice campaigners and Indigenous right activist groups have been calling for Australia Day to be scrapped for several years. This shows that Australia Day is high on the list of targets. What's more concerning is that the Albanese Government Minister for Indigenous Australians, Linda Burney, does not seem to realise the potential the voice has to impact these sorts of policy issues. And that Linda Burney was the lady standing with the red coat on the stairs or whatever, with her head up her ass. Yeah, does not, the policy issues. Burney claims a voice won't be able to influence the date of Australia Day, but constitutional experts disagree. If the voice gets legislated, all indications are that it will surely make a representation to change Australia Day, and it will then be up to the courts to determine the issue. This begs the question, if the Albanese government ministers don't understand the powers of the voice, how can Australians like you or I possibly vote for it? This makes our campaigning to protect Australia Day through legislation even more important. Because she's got no idea, this woman. Inner city elite. Okay. It's going to do a lot of damage if it does get in. Hello Possum said nice to see the new landowners at the NRL game. They're white. Oh dear. Phil, One People, One Nation said just when you thought they couldn't get any dumber, Albo proves you wrong decisively. The project said Prime Minister Albo explains why he believes welcoming 400,000 migrants over the last 12 months into Australia hasn't worsened the housing crisis. Let's have a listen to this.
Prime Minister, on another topic that a lot of Australians would regard as probably even more pressing, a lot of people in this country are struggling to afford a home or to rent, but the government let in almost 400,000 migrants last year. Isn't that just making the housing crisis worse?
Now, let's be clear about what happened last year. Whereas what normally happens...
I'm sorry, when I listen to him, I can't help but laugh the way he talks. I'm sorry. Let's be clear without ever being clear, okay? Without ever being clear, let's be clear. That's what they always say. ...is that people leave the country and people come back to the country. So what happened post-pandemic, of course, was that instead of students who'd finished their degree, for example, leaving and the same number coming,
just people came. No one was leaving because they weren't here beforehand. And indeed, the population that was reached, that will be reached in 2025, was expected to be the population under the former government's projections already in 2022. So this is a product really of what has happened with the opening up of our borders. And when you close your borders completely, as we did, you've got to expect a short-term bounce back.
Was that people coming in, not many people leaving because we were closed down and people weren't allowed to leave unless they had a jab of some sort? I don't know, I'm just asking.
We have a migration strategy. We expect that by targeting migration to Australia's need, the numbers in future will actually be lower than what was projected.
BS. What a bunch of rubbish. Seriously. Jenny Taylor said so. Westpac circulating an email saying cash withdrawals are now limited to $1,000. Why, if it's your money? Who gives them the right to put a limit on how much money you're allowed to access? I'll tell you why. Because they don't have the money. That's why. So anyone with Westpac Bank will all have to be running the other way, right? You're going to have to run the other way. Try and find a credit union or something to join up with that is not one of these. I don't even know which bank is safe myself, so someone tell me. General Michael Flynn said Durham is testifying before Congress this morning. Should be an interesting display of showmanship by both sides. Don't expect any more accountability for the Crossfire Hurricane investigation from this man. Durham wrote a report that is very damning of the leadership inside the DOJ, FBI and the EOP, Executive Office of the President, but failed, to interview any of the leaders who were key instigators of the completely made-up Russiagate. Why? They are the ones who initiated the crimes of the century against the American people and our Constitution. Let's see if this question even gets asked today. Tom Fitton said this is damning information. According to the Durham report, President Obama's CIA Director John Brennan, then Vice President Joe Biden, former Attorney General Loretta Lynch, and the infamous former Director of the FBI James Comey were briefed in August 2016 about the plan by Hillary Clinton and the DNC to create a false narrative linking President Trump to Russia. It depends. Did he get a word in edgewise because of the... I don't know. I think it's all being set up so that we can see no justice is getting done and then the military has to come in with military courts. Aussie Bot said leaders right across the West. Wall Street Silver said this lady tells Justin Trudeau. What do we do with traitors in Canada? We used to hang them for treason. And this mate, Aussie Bot said leaders right across the West. Pay attention to this.
Number 3 question, Mr. Trudeau, is you've sold us out to globalism.
Okay.
You are not working for Canada. You are working for your globalist partners. I wonder how much they're paying you to betray Canada. Okay. What do we do with traitors in Canada, Mr. Trudeau? We used to hang them for treason. And you're doing that very same thing to us now.
Okay.
We know what you're doing. But you can start with the oil question. Okay. Number 3 question.
Okay, that goes for all of our governments. Pauline Hanson said Minister Burney's claim has also been contradicted by another Labor minister in the Senate. When asked, will the Voice have freedom to determine the issues on which it makes representations, Minister Watt, representing the government, answered yes. The Voice could decide for itself what it offered advice about. No wonder so many Aussies are confused about Albanese's voice. Even his own ministers can't seem to agree on its powers. So there you go. Why would anyone believe the government? Don't do it. It's a bad way to go. Bad way to go. The Gateway pundit said breaking signs of life detected near... Here we go. Detected near site of missing OceanGate submarine according to Explorers Club. There was none. They knew. The Navy knew that last Sunday was over. The opinionated black woman said cardiologist Mr. Asim Malhotra and Dr. Chris Neal, who is president of the Australian Medical Professionals Society, spit it out, have concluded that the COVID jab could cause rapid acceleration of coronary disease. Shane Warne's death precipitated by the jabs. Very famous cricketer, Shane Warne. Mark Rowley said his father, Celestino Mayer, is a Torres Strait Islander, Philippine and Dayak ancestry, and his mother, Liz Mayer, brings Polish, Jewish and English ancestry to the family. So his dad, a Filipino-Bornean, living on Torres Strait Island, and that automatically makes him a Torres Strait Islander? And why is his surname now Mayo instead of Mayer? Mayer, you know. This is the same guy, okay? He's not even... See, that it used to be Aboriginal, and then it was Torres Strait Island brought in on top of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're trying to include more people who are apparently Indigenous to Australia over white people. Who knows? Crazy. Twitter Daily News said the Australian government has issued Twitter a please explain notice requiring the company to explain what it's doing to tackle online hate. That is, anyone who disagrees with the Australian government or The Voice. Twitter has 28 days to comply or it will face a fine of $700,000 for each day over the deadline. Seriously, everyone's telling Twitter just to turn Australia off. E-Safety Commissioner Julie Inman Grant took a combative tone, accusing Twitter of cutting too many moderation staff. A similar notice was issued on CSA material early this week, although that too was given to other social companies, not just Twitter. The Australian government should start with Facebook fact checkers. All good. Albo hates the truth. When did Australia get to be mum? Would love to know if they inquired this before Elon bought Twitter. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Okay, yep. Everything we suspected about The Voice has turned out to be true. Twisted said, as an Australian, I don't agree at all. Elon has made this place as effective as possible, moving information. Rachel said, how many other free speech platforms still exist in Australia? Why am I in there? The Australian government's online speech equals anyone who criticises them. I was surprised I came up myself. Vincente Crestani said, Australia, why don't you get rid of your corrupt government one of these days? They seem pretty jailable to me, trying to censor you after putting the unleashed natives into concentration camps for COVID reasons. That's treason in my book. History Repeating said the system is WEF rigged. Our current government got in with just 37% of the vote. It was actually 32% when Liberal had 37%, but they didn't get in. We clearly did not want Albozo and his left-waff regime. Marker Magic said the answer is simple, dear Twitter. Counter fine Australia's federal government $700,000 a day for failing to comply with Twitter's free speech terms of service until they comply. Issue a 28-day compliance requirement and then impose the fine if the Australian government continues to flout Twitter's free speech requirements for all Australian citizens. This could turn out quite interesting. Okay, this person, Doge Tits, says, I like Australia, but the government sounds like it sucks. It does. You are right, most people here are self-absorbed in their own BS and vote in stupid governments. The scenery is good, though. Yeah, they are. Veneration said, yeah, but before Elon, when Australia couldn't give a shit, they were so well moderated. Odd how they only seem to care about online hate now Elon's in charge. Wonder why that bias exists. Wow. Australians were talking about this on Twitter Spaces this Saturday. There were a few that just said, look, just cut Australia off, okay? Good thing the government gets to decide what qualifies as hate, so it can always lower the bar enough to put pressure on companies if it doesn't like. Oh, you let people on your platform say women don't have penises, we're going to fine you $1 million. Elena said, Elon, your next stop should be Australia. Go, fight, win. Oh, dear. He should buy Australia next, said Corn Pop. Tony said, I'm Aussie and I'm all for this. Elon Musk dare to buy your own island. JT said he'd have to buy it off the Chinese first. This should be pretty easy. Ex-Twitter has been very transparent about what they're doing, says Barry. Hate speech is defined by the government as any speech that government employees hate. That's exactly it. Anywho, a lot of people were saying just shut Australia off from Twitter, Elon. Dr. Russell McGregor said the hatch is sealed, was shut with 17 bolts and there's no other way out. Q is in control. Total control. Interesting. Don't know if I completely... Well, I do believe that they are in control, but yeah. And as Statman said, no one has a worse 5 years than experts say, laughable that they don't feel the need to win back any trust, but I still believe they still have the power to exclude views from public debate. Oilfield Rando said, just FYI, Peter Hotez was one of the scientists who was fined with Black Lives Matter protests, but condemned anti-mandate protests. Where the hell am I getting masks from? But sure, he shouldn't have to defend his views to anyone. He's the science. Illuminati Bot said one of the penalties of not participating in politics is that you will be governed by your inferiors. So if you don't get involved, you're going to be no say in what you get. Which includes me. I can't vote. So I've got no say in what we get. God help us. Dave Rubin said Biden doesn't know what he's saying, which is a problem. Trump knows what he's saying, which is a problem. DeSantis War Room said Trump goes on to say you have a lot of people that love the jabs. I mean, you do. They happen to be more Democrat than they are Republican. There are people that say I saved 100 million lives.
But you have a lot of people that love the vaccines. I mean, you do. They happen to be more Democrat than they are Republican.
That's why I asked the question.
But you have a lot of people. There are people that say I saved 100 million lives. I don't even talk about it. But you have a lot of people that love.
I reckon he saved mine. Hydroxychloroquine. Just by saying a word that I ended up having a look at what it was, and yeah, I went and got some, and it helped me, and wow, who knows. ALX said Daily Mail headlines, Mark Zuckerberg's master plan to kill off Twitter revealed, Meta to launch rival character limited app codenamed Project 92, and is tapping up Oprah and the Dalai Lama to help, even after the Buddhist leader kissed that 10-year-old boy and made him kiss his tongue. Meta exec Chris Cox says celebrities want a Twitter substitute that's sanely run. Meta Play for Twitter users will integrate Instagram and Twitter rival Mastodon, he said. Yeah, well, good luck with that. I also heard that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are going to have some sort of match. I don't know, boxing match, I don't know what it is. Some sort of match. Educated hillbilly said the father of 13-year-old victim got beaten by police. Spent nights in jail, was charged with felonies, had the DOJ and school board label him a terrorist, and Garland launched an FBI task force to monitor him for his crime of complaining about it. So the father of a 13-year-old victim, he got beaten by police, charged with felonies, spent the night in jail. They labelled him as a terrorist. Garland launched an FBI task force to monitor him for saying something. Catter said Threads lame as Meta to release Twitter rival calls Threads, not making this up. Meta, the same company that copied Snapchat, TikTok, StumbleUpon, Foursquare, Be Real and Clubhouse, began coding Project 92 3 months after Elon acquired Twitter. Rumours have been circulating about the app's public name being Threads. Meta's Chief Product Officer Chris Cox described Project 92 as our response to Twitter and mentioned that it will allow Instagram users to automatically transfer their followers and user information straight to the new app. Cox threw shade at Elon Musk's Twitter by claiming Meta's been hearing from creators and public figures who are interested in having a platform that is sanely run. Good luck with that, with Zuckerberg. This is ironic considering the WSJ's investigation a few weeks ago into the proliferation of child pornography rings on Instagram and Facebook. And let's not forget, Meta's the same platform that censored the lab leak theory in the Hunter Biden laptop. Will Threads be a genuine Twitter rival? No, it'll be a propaganda arm. It's exactly what it will be. Cool Hand Luke said, Australia is fast changing from a democracy into a communist state. Do you know a democracy never actually works? It can work for so long, but apparently it always stops working. Mob rule. It's mob rule. But anyway, it's changing from a democracy into a communist state. Victoria's almost fully converted, with Andrews using stormtroopers and brutalising protesters, and Albanese's close behind. Both are corrupt and hardly even try to hide it. Public hatred is at boiling point. Yeah. I'm waiting to see what happens next. I'm sorry, I'm on a feeling, kind of like that today. There. Okay, Lauren Bobo said, love your leadership on this, thank you. Anna Paulina Luna said censure vote will be tomorrow, and apparently they did. They censured Adam Schiff. Shifty little shift has been shifted off. General Mike Flynn said there's no reasonable doubt that President Biden was an active participant in an unlawful international influence peddling scheme. Whatever you may think about real Donald Trump or his recent federal indictment, the rapidity of the investigation and the breadth of the indictment is breathtaking compared to the inaction for comparable crimes allegedly committed by Hillary Clinton. The incontrovertibly slow walking of the investigation of Hunter Biden, and Merrick Garland's refusal to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate Joe Biden's role in the Biden family's international influence peddling scheme. Does any reasonable human believe that Joe never discussed Hunter's business with Hunter, or that Joe did not know anything about a scheme that so far has ensnared at least 9 close Biden family relatives? It was reported today that Hunter will plead guilty to 2 tax misdemeanors and defer a gun reporting offence with no prison time and the right to have his record partially expunged after 2 years. Good thing Hunter is a white dude and oh yeah, son of this POTUS too matters. It's not just the stark contrast between use of the BS Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, to go after 5 Trump associates, including yours truly, before FARA is ignored when exploring Hunter's activities for Ukraine and China, or the contrast between aggressive prosecutions of pro-life protesters compared to the past given to abortion rights protesters, or the horribly disproportionate treatment of January 6 protesters compared to the left-wing protesters who destroyed billions of dollars of property and killed more than 24 Americans. Rather, it's all of these things. Either Democrats, Republicans, progressives, conservatives and centrists should be subject to equally fierce investigations and prosecutions, or they should all be subject to neither. Either we have rule of law or not. With the provision that every American is entitled to a presumption of innocence, unless, of course, you're a conservative who supports Trump, and much of what is known of the Biden family crime organisation is alleged, there is powerful evidence that Joe Biden committed multiple felonies as a co-conspirator in an international Biden family fraud and racketeering scheme, regardless of whether he personally received bribes. This isn't over, and Americans of every stripe, faith and class better wake up to the fact we have 2 completely different sets of laws in America. I think we know that by now. Following Antifa's recent humiliation in Glendale, CA, California, they have called for a rematch against Armenian American parents on June the 20th. They're telling outside comrades and allies to pack the school board meeting to manipulate the public into not hearing the parental opposition to queer and gender ideology. They're showing up early in masks to hide their identities. Police have released a statement about the potential for violence again. Antifa. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, Antifa are the same people who will protest for the trans community, okay? They're just one and the same, pretty much. Pedos. It's made up mostly, I believe, pedos. Okay, Robert the Bruce of Burke said, from my friend the superb known guy, if we destroy our mineral and energy industries in favour of some fake green utopia, Australia will be destroyed. Yeah, it's going to look like hell with all those... it doesn't look good now with the wind things and the solar panels everywhere. It looks disgusting. Jesse Waters said Hunter didn't get a plea deal. He got a cover-up. The prosecutor charged him for not paying income taxes but didn't pursue where the income came from. The laptop's been gathering dust for years. They cleaned up his gun crime after he lied on a background check and was caught with a firearm, narcotics and prostitutes. Yet Joe Biden doesn't think you're responsible enough to own a gun. Joe Biden wants to raise your taxes when his son doesn't even pay his. IRS agents are going after waitresses' tips, but Hunter cheated the government and got a sweetheart deal. And no, the charges weren't the standard. But the Hunter investigation was never about Hunter. It was about Joe, and it all stinks. And that's exactly right. Okay, Citizen Free Press said Chip Roy just went nuclear on the Democrats. We're the ones holding the goddamn bag in Texas. Good, walk out. You don't like the rants? We don't like what's happening to Texas because of you and the president down the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue. Let's have a listen.
I mean, at some point, Texas is going to say, screw it, enough. We're going to do whatever the hell we want to do. And I'll be an advocate for that. Because the people in this Congress are ignoring the people of Texas. And by the way, the migrants getting abused. That's the truth. Talking about people who are admitted into this country. We're talking about the legal definition of admission. Not the one app where you're processing people through a port of entry and just dumping them into the United States without having any idea when they return for a hearing on whether their asylum claim was legitimate in the first place, which it usually is not. That's the truth. Now, you can shake your head all you want. We're the ones holding the goddamn bag in Texas. It's true. Talk to the dead people in Texas. Yeah, good, walk out. You don't like the rants? We don't like what's happening to Texas because of you and the president down the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue.
There you go.
I mean,
Oh, okay. Crazy Clips says McDonald's manager swings a blender because someone was throwing food. Watch this just quickly. I don't know. I didn't even see anything. But there you go. Guess the blender swings it. That's what. See what happens when you want to throw things. Matt Gaetz said breaking Lauren Boebert, offering articles of impeachment on the... I must have just kept on bookmarking the same thing over and over again. Curry Lake War Room on the 3rd of the 10th, 19. Real Donald Trump asked Congress for $8.6 for the border wall. Not worth it, they said. Joe Biden sends $6 billion to Ukraine. It's just an accounting error. Make no mistake, the swamp has no interest in securing America's border. Breaking. Accounting error provides extra $6.2 billion for Ukraine, Pentagon says. Whoops. Belarus, Eastern Europe to chemically castrate pedos. It's better than letting them run the country, for fuck's sake. Belarus takes a stern step. Pedos to undergo chemical castration. Should be everywhere. At the very least. I reckon just, you know, hang. But that's just me. Okay, Grace Chong said the Drino Empire listed under NIH elite drug 10 times more potent than heroin. Jim Caviezel. That was the Bannon's War Room. An interview, obviously. So if you don't believe, you know, about the Drino, it's true. Dell said breaking Hunter Biden, son of Joe. Yep, okay, we pretty much know that one. Set to plead guilty and got naughty. 3 Mile Times says Australia temperatures dip below freezing across swaths of Victoria, Tasmania, the ACT and New South Wales Tuesday morning with an overnight snowfall. But we got like 1 minute of snow here. Of as much as a foot observed at alpine areas such as Oberon, which is not far from me, located west of the Blue Mountains. Where was my snow? Where is my snow? Scandinavian ski resorts have records piles of snow, Australia's coldest. What has Scandinavia got to do with Australia? Unless are we both having snow? Australia's cold intensifies. Oh yeah. It's just okay. Ski centres across Scandinavia are saying they've stockpiled more snow than ever before ahead of the summer 2023. Oh, there you go. Climate activist Greta Thunberg blocks entrance to Norwegian Energy Ministry. Greta also said the world was supposed to end 2 days ago, about 5 years ago. Okay. Also known as snow farming, the stockpiling process allows resorts to get a head start on the next season by spreading the snow back out in early autumn to form a base. Where do they stockpile it? In a freezer somewhere? Is anyone finding this as strange as I am? I don't know. It sounds a bit interesting. Some of the snow will be lost to some melt, explains Snow Forecast, but thanks to covers and insulation such as bark, most of the pack survives. Okay. Australia's cold front intensifies, drops a foot of snow. Well, it didn't drop it here. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Snow at Mount Hotham Ski Resort in Victoria on Monday. That was it. Just didn't make its way far enough up here. Oberon is slightly south to us, so the closer you are to the south, the more chance of snow you're getting. Snow is covering Perisher Valley as a bone-chilling cold snaps Australia. I'm still waiting for mine. The snowfall has also been welcomed news for Thredbo, which I've been to. It's beautiful. They had blizzards down there. I still didn't get mine. In turn, graziers across New South Wales have been put on alert with sheep and lambs at risk of freezing to death. I wonder if chickens are in that too. I'm trying to get my chickens to go into their homes at night. They want to perch on top of it instead. Okay. Rebel News said in 2023 the average Canadian family of 2 or more people will pay $64,610 in total taxes, representing 46.1% of their annual gross income. Jeez. Insane. Poor Canadians. Poor all of us. We're all facing something very similar. Bernie's tweets said a tale of 2 men, Hunter versus Assange, one the son of a president and one the son of a nobody. Hunter Biden, willful neglect to pay taxes, illegally possessed gun, and no one's talking about the drugs, prostitution, dubious age of the girls, or assault. Does a deal to attend a multiple choice test and will serve no prison time. Julian Assange, government whistleblower. Infinite detention without trial, human rights violated, equals will spend the rest of his life in prison. Can you see it yet? And this man was also shown many times with the very young girls. Like, I mean little girls. Cat Turd said, are we having fun yet? I don't know. Can't work it out. Oh, my stomach is. It's telling me I'm hungry now. Okay, declaration of memes. Sophie Corcoran said how to be a good climate activist. Step 1, own a private jet. Step 2, lecture the poor. Step 3, fly to Davos. Step 4, give yourself an award. Step 5, make rules to make the poor poorer. Step 6, don't follow the rules yourself. How's that? It's exactly what they're like. Okay, and we know more about The Voice. Okay, I'm going to come back. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to come back and say hello. I probably won't be on here too long today, guys. I'm just having a bit of a weird day. My back hurts. Okay. Oh. What's this been? 2 years since McAfee's building in Florida collapsed. Wow, how time flies. Love, peace and prosperity to you all. Okay. Well, I'm right back at the beginning, apparently. With the comments. Nursing Muskrat said so much shot is going down. It is, isn't it? A lot going on everywhere. I'm trying to keep to the main points though. Like, most things are a distraction to cover up the Hunter Biden shit that came out this week. And Alex, how you going? Who else have we got in here? I'm trying to do it without making it jump. Yep, D-Lee said, happy anniversary, Fred and Donna. Donna loves Fred and Fred loves Donna. Oh. Now it jumped. There we go. I was waiting for it. It always does it. Okay. Hey Zal, how you going? MJ, how you going? Jared, how you going? Shannon, how you going? I said hello to everyone already. Okay. Let's go from here. Alex said, I think that's why it's all gone quiet, because they're slipping all this stuff under the radar, then boom, they'll hit people with it. Stay vigilant. Darren said, if only they were only building their prison, but they are building ours too, flyby. Shannon said, talking in circles and word salad sounds like Kamala Harris. Well, a lot of them do. A lot of politicians and people and experts actually do. If you listen carefully, you'll hear them just not say much at all. I don't know, it's weird. Alex said, I heard normies talking about the digital pound the other day, like they just heard of it, didn't seem too keen, and I'm noticing more people using cash, which is good. I try to always use cash if I can. Yes, I don't know what's going on with YouTube either. They've got 2 or 3 more days, and they're going to get a nasty little email from me. Talking in circle. Oh yeah, I read that. Menacing Muskrat said Ocean Gate was look here, not there. Dealey said out to lunch. That's so awesome. People don't stay together that long anymore. Zal said Albo's such a mongrel liar. Darren said yes, Alex. They are slow once they hear what digital cash really is, and they wake up a bit. And Zal, how you going? Alex said I could never use them either. QR on my phone keeps turning that emergency alert back on too. I keep turning it off. They are obviously planning another event. Menacing Muskrat said 70% of Canadian paychecks go to taxes. Oh, that's terrible. Fleffing sucks. Flyby's Jew said, hey up Darren, I know that, but they seem oblivious to the fact. Yep. Deb said they give them all our home to rent and make it hard for us to get a rental. Yes, they do. They're out housing us. They're taking the jobs. And, yeah. Not good. Okay, out to lunch said, so if sis is banned on Twitter, can I say it because I'm apparently one? Blacks can say the N-word. We can call ourselves cis, but they can't. The trans people can't, right? Okay. Voyager, how you going? Menacing Muskrat said TD banks in Canada can't produce paychecks. MJ said, hey, Voyager. Really like typing that. Darren says, this is a hate word. We don't need a prefix for normal. Yeah, we're just like women and men. We're not cis women, cis men. We're just women and men. They just don't like it because we're the normal ones. Alex, I just got to keep praying more people wake up. Fly by Stu, Alex, don't pray, wake them up very rudely. Oh, dear. Heaven sent, that's an old video. Yes, it was an old video. I just wanted to the Canadian lady telling we hang people for this. Yes, it was an old video. I just wanted to refresh people's minds that, yeah. Now, all our governments need the same thing anyway. Out to lunch said Trudeau said okay to what? It was an old video. Darren said that woman will get investigated for saying that to Trudeau. Shannon said flatulence in muskrat often proves fatal for all parties involved. Pardon me. Out to lunch said 5 days, look here, not there because of Hunter. MJ said I like seeing angry Canadian women. Alex said I'm done with those days. It was hurting me more trying to wake people up. They will get there if they are meant to fly by. Yeah, you got to let people go now, I think. I've been arguing with people trying to wake them up and it's not working. It's not working out well. So don't do that. Shadow said muskrat gas, the fuel will save the planet. Deb said how that sub was controlled by game controller. I don't know, but I didn't report on it much, actually, at all. I was waiting to see what would happen because I had a funny feeling it was some kind of false flag, but not necessarily just that they were using it. Never let a good crisis go to waste, and that's what they did. Darren said Mayo is not inclusive, but anything goes with Mayo. Out to lunch said, but Deb, they had spares. Alex said, I am here with open arms when people are ready. It will be a hard process for them. I've been awake for years, so I had loads of time to prepare. That's it. Zal said, hi, yes, menacing. Shannon said, note to self, replace sub-controllers, AA batteries. And Deb's laughing out to lunch. And out to lunch said, bought a charger. And Deb's laughing at Shannon. Menacing Muskrat said, I'm a little bit deadly, lol. Sal said, Twitter needs to keep giving the Australian government the finger. Yep. Shannon said, do you think Elon versus Sucker Fight is a distraction? Yes, I do. It's another one. I read it and laughed. I just thought, you got to be kidding, don't you? It sounded like a joke. Darren said, I can't understand why anyone would pay $250,000 to see a shipwreck. Safer to go to space if you have that much money to waste. MJ said, I found it disturbing, weirdness, yuck. Darren said, watch out, muskrat. They will soon tax farts. Yeah, they already want to tax cow farts, don't they? Sal said, the answer is simple, bring in military justice for all our traitors. Well, that's what I think we're being shown at the moment. We're being pushed right to the edge. The military is going to have to come in and... because the justice isn't happening, pretty much, anywhere. They're not getting held accountable for anything they do, so you can't trust the courts and the judges and the... Zal said, the answer is simple, bring in military justice for all our traitors. Xenotron said, under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Deb said Titanic passenger was related to someone that was in the Titanic. Yep. Kat said fake story pre-written. Menacing Muskrat said definitely Shannon, they are shot against the wall hoping something sticks. MJ said Elon probably has weird Spock moves for... D-Lee said, Dara, that's why I believe they didn't happen, just a headline. Shannon said, hey Darren, it's not like Darwin Awards growing trees. You can only get them once in a lifetime. Flyby Stew said, Darren, the outer space of my house is my garden. I rest my case. Kat said, World Evil Forum, WEF. Yeah. It's a good one. Alex says, some people are so rich that nothing else can satisfy them. So they come up with demented ideas and they have so much money no one will say no to them. Yeah, that's a lot. Yep. It goes on a lot. Darren said, and you don't pay a penny to visit it, Flyby Stew. Menacing Muskrat said 16 bolts. Heaven sent. Sal said, I find it amazing there's an element in the government that thinks it has an opportunity to exert this type of communist playbook behaviours. They are seriously that far gone. Darren said the worst part is the news makes a big deal out of the billionaire, but hardly mentions the other two passengers not rich enough, I guess. I thought of some sort of sacrifice too. MJ said pay $250,000 to get in a coffin. Yep. And Zal's got little masks on. Yeah, I feel like I've got the flu. That's what I feel like. That's why I feel weird. I kind of have, but I haven't. You know what I mean? I've got a blocked nose and stuff, but I don't know. Very weird. Flyby Stew said, Darren, exactly, lols, so that means we don't live on a spinning ball. Alex said, always the way, Darren. Mersing said they never thought she would lose. Yep, Hillary. Darren said, at least the funeral costs a mute. Sal said those jabs were saline when Trump was in control. Deb said, my mum can't swim and she wants to be buried. Sal said, celebrity deathmatch, bring it on. MJ's got the trumpets out. Kat says Zal with a winky face. Xenotron said Darren because they were old white guys which should activate a red flag. Shannon said illegal dumping of trash at sea. Deb's got the trumpets out too. Alex said all that got hushed quickly. Dalai Lama, but then most pedo news does get hushed quickly because they're all up to it in their necks. Sickos. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think too. Xenotron said the truth will come out about Trump's involvement. Shannon said didn't see many icebergs out there. Must be global warming. Deb's laughing at Shannon. Alex said also the theft of millions of tons of sand, Shannon. Out to Lunch said 17 posted 3 years ago, all for conspiracy, information warfare, infiltration, not invasion. Shannon said maybe that's why it was so deep there, all the icebergs melted. Darren said warming in the summer and cooling in the winter, climate change. Xenotron said deep swamp being exposed and it stinks to high heaven. Out to Lunch said who tells someone child to suck their tongue? Yes, exactly. Deb said 9:39 a.m. Adelaide, not moist. Xenotron said climate change is interchangeable with social engineering. Shannon said Dalai Lama, what do I win for getting that one right? Xenotron said out to lunch, a filthy pervert, that is who? Yeah, who tells someone, a child, to suck their tongue. Alex said it's disgusting, isn't it? Darren said yes, Cena engineering the statistics. Out to lunch said, me gonna ask Donna. Shannon said, who is Dalai Lama? I'll take pedos for $500. MJ said, I want gallows, damn it. Flyby Stew said, Orgon energy, give me some. Shannon said, get Mo TV. That's all we need. There are military tribunals and live, live court TV. Deb said, yes, what happened to the guillotine US has? Darren said, forget gallows, they like recycling, so maybe a shark tank. Menacing Muskrat said the Canadian government ordered 30,000 guillotines and said that it was for paper shredding, believe it or not. Really? Interesting. Xenotron said they need to be marched through the streets to walk to their gallows. It needs to be real, not televised. Media has desensitised us. Out to lunch said Alligator. MJ said chum, 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 sounds good. Xenotron said, Deb, you mean all these guillotines that Obama ordered? Darren said another good option, out to lunch. Shannon said Hillary ordered 30,000 of them for FEMA camps. I'm sure they're laying around somewhere, possibly under Walmart's dumbs. Alex said, I don't want the bad karma of wishing bad on anyone, even my worst enemy. I've seen on many occasions karma playing out. Out to lunch said, don't starve the animals. Delay said 30,000 guillotines. Xenotron said, Shannon, yeah, they wouldn't just dematerialise unless it was a bogus order to money launder. You never know. Shannon said, speaking of Walmart, the owners have been selling masses of shares. Oh, there you go. Darren said, you are right, of course, Alex. Dennis Biss said, Cedartron, that would be a rally to see, escorted by the military of the people. MJ said, Alex, grape trees will change your mind, I say it with love. Menacing Muskrat said, D-Lee, Blades, that was a few years ago. Xenotron said, well, it will certainly rival the Pride parades. Deb said, let's get loud. Shannon said, that's a drag queen song, Deb. Alex said, what's that, MJ? Flyby Stew said, transfer of wealth Ukraine. Xenotron said, just wondering what they are going to use for the female pedos. Xenotron said, it works. Does it work on women? Deb said, trust me not to know that. Xenotron said they are nearly all drag queen songs. Out to lunch said, was the drag party showing the female people PPs to the children? Xenotron said, my friend in Tassie is living in a caravan. Oh. Actually, I don't know if I wouldn't mind that. As long as I was on a property somewhere. Darren said, I see the snow, but it's too hot to feel it. Flyby Stew said, been there, Xena, not nice. Out to lunch to the further north in Australia, it gets warmer, yes. The further south, it gets cooler. Because we're closer to the Antarctic, especially the south side. And the north side is closer to the equator. So the middle. Sorry, I'm yawning and everything. Stretching and... Shannon said, Knowles caravans, Knowles caravans. Now Deb's got that ad jingle in her head. Sal said, Greta was not far off with what's really going to happen. Nothing to do with climate change or anything they say, but in the end of the cycle. Darren said, out to lunch. I'm on the other side of the world. It's summer here. Menacing Muskrat said, no, Snow Angel, haven't sent. No, not at the moment. As soon as there's snow, I'll record it or go live or something. But we haven't had anything, really. We had, like 1 minute of it the other night. 1 minute a week before. It's not doing well. Oh, dear. Sandtron said, out to lunch, yes, but it is more than... It still gets cold at night, but the days warm up. In Tassie, it just doesn't change temperature hardly all day. It's a bit what it's like up here, except Tassie's colder. But up here, we're getting like 6 to 10 degrees Celsius. 6 overnight and 10 during the day. So, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. MJ said, if you take a woman's ovaries and uterus, it can go bad fast, so I imagine they can chemically castrate women also. Out to lunch said, Donna says it's getting moist after mowing most of the yard, flip friggin' grass. Deb said, I live not too far either from Knowles too. Xenotron said, MJ, but it isn't it a mental thing? Shannon said, I think Greta would have been the prefix person to pilot that sub of her of Ghislaine Maxwell's, she even has a submarine license. Xenotron said, I don't know much about chemical castration. Darren said, chemical castration seems like a slap on the wrist for what they have done to the children. Deb said, pig and blanket here, eating Chinese. Oh, yum. Shannon said, I know, Deb, I know. MJ said, if they cannot have access is the whole thing. No access, said, don't stop, no cure. Oh, where'd that go? My stomach won't shut up. Oh, where'd I go? I was way back. Oh, hey, Timmy, how you doing? I see everyone's saying hello to you in there. I can't, I can't see you yet, but okay. Oh yeah, I think I'm back near where I was. Xenotron said, it staggers me with the crimes hunters charged with. How did they choose and overlook all those images? And Timmy, how you going? Xenotron said, to get him on a tax thing. Alex said, I keep forgetting it's your winter. For once I don't have my hot water bottles. And then everyone's going, hey Timmy. Deb said, I miss Hev's cooking adventures. Oh, they'll come back one day. Flyby Stew said, what's with the big coat, Hev? Is it winter where you are? Yes, and freezing. Out to lunch said, is Adreno addictive? Apparently. Apparently it is. Deb said, yes, very out to lunch. Shannon said, my wife hits me every time I sing Noel's Caravans, and I sing it every time a caravan goes past. Alex said, sending you love and prayers. Heaven sent, hopefully you feel better soon. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, a bit off. Just feel a bit off. It's all right. I'll be right. Just feel a bit off, you know, one of those days. It's just one of them days. Okay, Alex said, oh yeah, I read that one. Xenotron set out to lunch. I would imagine the power and invincibility of their secret is the hook. Deb said, your wife needs a medal. MJ said, Xena, treason though. Hunter, treason, right? Taxes is weird. Shannon said, yes, and the withdrawals are bad as well. What withdrawals? Flyby Stew said, out to lunch. We hear it's very addictive. Oh, the withdrawals are of the Adreno. You mean, yeah. Shannon said, battered husband. Deb said, I love battering my husband. Flyby Stew said, is that both sides, Shannon? Xenotron said, MJ, oh, there's a smorgasbord to choose from. Don't like their taste. Shannon said, what if I drink a shitload of pineapple juice first? Deb said, what flavour do you have? Shannon said, depends on who's driving as to which side the punch comes from. Oh, the flavour in my vape. Oh, it's vanilla. It's vanilla. No nicotine, just the oil. And it's lovely. Shannon said salty. Voyager said, heaven sent, hi, Hev, I'm good, thanks. Xenotron said, Shannon, too right, Shannon. Remember how Ellen faded into a goblin pretty quickly? Deb's laughing at Shannon. Shannon said, correction, spearmint. Shannon said, Alan degenerate. Flyby Stew said, salt and vinegar, not salt and pepper. Xenotron said, just realised how awful it must have been in the tin can. Who farted? Shannon said, vinegar stroke, maybe. Flyby Stew said, apple cider vinegar. Shannon said, captive audience, lol. At least it will pressurise the sub and prevent crushing pressures. Deb said, I talk funny with my new teeth. It's a bit like that, isn't it? It's hard. Sal said, space doesn't exist, as has been described, Darren, nor is the spinning ball fantasy of the Jesuit heliocentric model. Shannon said, well, maybe a baby's arm grasping an apple, lol. Out to lunch said, Deb can't tell from here. Flyby Stew said, Deb, wait while you try to whistle. Deb said, if you get to space through the ocean, then maybe they are in space. Shannon said, do you sound like Donkey from Shrek? Darren said, doesn't matter what happened, what shape the earth is, Zal, God prepared it for us either way. EDD, how you going? Said Dark Winter is coming. MJ said, Deb, hey girl, yeah. Shannon said, if so, you have a raw case of the Eddie Murphys. Zal said, that's another misnomer, Darren. Deb said, already did sound like a donkey, I talk a lot. Zal said, nor is a flat pizza. Darren said, Deb, the spaces between their ears. Shannon said, if they got crushed, they definitely take up less space now. Deb said, how's the chooks, turkey and veg? Okay. Chooks are doing well. They're still perching on top instead of going into their house at night time. It's freezing. But what I did do is I put their other two little hutches back in there. And the turkey, he was peeing my son off really badly by knocking on the doors and the windows. So I had to stop feeding him. And he's actually nesting in my yard. He's made a massive pile of, well, you could say compostable material, like sticks, leaves, everything. He's made a really big pile in one corner. And he cleaned up my backyard for me. And I feel slack because I haven't fed him. But really, it is cruel because if anything ever happens to me and I've been feeding him for years, he might forget how to hunt on his own and go for his own food, you know? So it's cruel to actually feed them. Apparently, I want to, but I don't know. I don't want him knocking on all the doors. So, I don't know. I feel sorry for the turkey and I want to feed him, but I know that if I do, he's going to keep knocking at the doors and he's going to pee my son off and my son might, I don't know, I don't think he'd hurt him, but I might throw something at him. And I don't want the turkey to get hurt. And then, am I trusting it to, am I teaching it to trust humans and then not all humans are going to be nice to it? I don't know. I'm arguing with myself. I'm having some moral dilemmas here, you know, about turkeys. And my veggie garden, okay. I've got all the tomatoes. I've eaten nearly all of them. And that tomato's dying, the tomato plant, so that's fine. I've got all the tomatoes. I've still got my rosemary is nearly half the size of me. My rosemary plant that was only about this big when I put it in is now nearly half the size of me. I thought I lost the garlic and the shallots, but they've come back from nowhere. I've still got the cabbage. It's still growing. There was animals eating it, so it wasn't growing for a long time, and I was wondering why, because the animals were eating it. But they're growing still. Okay, it's like 2 years old now, those cabbages. I've still got potatoes growing. What else is in there? I'm trying to think what else is in there. I think that's about it. The broccoli died. I had cucumbers for a while. I had picked a few cucumbers off that, but it wasn't doing really well. But yeah, sort of went all right. It did what it should have done, except for snails eating all the capsicum and chilies and half the plants. And then the turkeys and animals eating the other half, and I've just got a few little select pieces left now, so yeah, that's how the garden and the chickens and the turkey are going. Bit of a moral dilemma with the turkey, but you know. Okay, where am I up to? Okay, flybys. Stu said, Darren, God is a general term. There's loads of gods. Which one do you mean? Shannon said, did someone say that fat pizza, they're big and they're cheesy? EDD said, hey Alex, hello, beautiful. How you doing? Epic times incoming. Pardon me again. Deb's laughing at Darren. Out to lunch. Says, sub-related, how is that diversity inclusion working for them? Everything work turns to shite. Does, doesn't it? Shannon said, I think the Simpsons had a submarine thing on the Titanic. Darren said, flyby Stu, I mean the one true God, not one of those fake gods. Out to lunch said, yes, Shannon. Alex said, I'm good, thank you. Hope you are too, and yes, I can't wait. Sal said, I've got an organ accumulator. Out to lunch said, we need Traders of America stamp collection. Deb said, just watch Simpsons, they're psychic. Deb said, they're good, Sal. MJ said Matt Groening was in the club, not psychic, he knew their plans. Flyby Stu said, Darren, I don't understand what you mean, all gods in books, books manufactured by man. Alex said, yeah, he seems to know a lot, MJ. Alex said, like Stephen King. EDD said, I'm awesome and so happy to be awake and in this movement of justice and freedom and humanity worldwide. Shannon said Matt Groening was on the Lolita Express to Epstein Island, was he? MJ said, Alex, did you read the books by James Patterson about hybrid children? Flyby Stu said, EDD, respect. Alex said, I heard a crazy thing about Beyonce the other day that apparently every time she goes on tour, a massive celeb singer dies. Jared said, how else would we pass on the information? Flyby Stu, God is real, Jesus is real. And it's jumped again. Jumped, jump, jump. Okay. Yep, back to where I was. Okay. Deb said Billy Carson. Alex said they all sold their souls. EDD said all patriots of We the People. We're in amazing hands and along with our amazing creator, no fear, no worries. Xenotron said, Deb, those shows of spells make it in 2D and perform rituals. We watch them and manifest in reality for them. It's a deep thing. MJ said, Schumann resonance, Darren, yes, God is very real. Xenotron said, have we go from 3 to 23 degrees back to 4 overnight? Really? Flyby Stu said, God is within, Darren. EDD said, it's creator, not God. That's their evil plants and agenda. Huge difference. Sal said, I met Billy Carson. He's a nice bloke, but his claims are wrong. EDD said, plans. Voyager said, I'm coming to Australia next year, Hev. I met a girl online there. Crazy, eh? Oh, good on ya. Deb said, good to know, Zal. MJ said, go Voyager. Congrats. Flyby Stu said, connect the dots, people. Zal said, have vapor. Deb said, that's awesome, Voyager. Shannon said, our hot water's been out since Tuesday and the repairman can't get here till Monday. Oh, boil some water on the stove. Deb said, what state, Voyager? Alex said, the devil thinks he's in control and has been for a long time, but that's all about to change. Voyager said, MJ, Deb, oh, cheers, I'm so happy and been sober for 2 months. She's in Queensland. MJ said, beer batter or breadcrumb batter? Ooh. Breadcrumb. Although beer batter's not bad. I think the thing's burning, the coil. That one hit me. Ooh. Okay, Flyby Stu said, how's your mum? Have hope she's good on the med love and positive vibes from UK. She's still in the hospital. I'm going down today. I was down there the other day, and I'm going down again today, and I'm going to ask when she might be allowed to go home. Sometime, anytime, hello. See if I can find out when she's able to come home. Oh, Alex said tempura batter is good, yep. Dara said, MJ, beer batter for fresh fish and breadcrumbs for the fish fingers. MJ said, makes me want fish and chips. Extra tartare sauce. Now you're going to make me hungry. Here we go. Luna said, hello, I've been quiet this time, but I'm watching. Oh, God love you, Luna. Alex said, yeah, good old chippy fish and chips, yum. Deb said, hey, Luna. Everyone's saying hello, Luna. Zal said, turkey lurkey. Darren said, why do you make me want chippy at 1:45 a.m? My stomach is growling now. Alex said, sometimes it's nice to just listen and chill. It is. Alex said, oh, bless him. Darren said, hey, Luna, lurking is good sometimes, but don't be a stranger. MJ said, that turkey needs a mate. Oddie, he isn't with the crew. Yeah, well, I think he thinks he's a chicken because he keeps trying to mount my chickens. I'm like, no, mate, wrong breed. Wrong breed. Don't do that. Could have a turkey. Never know. Alex said, I know what you mean though. They say that about wild birds too. Shouldn't feed them all the time. MJ said, beefsteak, my favourite. Shannon said, so you're saying the rosemary bush is the one, is about one Joe Rogan tall, lol. Oh, it's about a foot, nearly a foot and a half tall. I don't know. No, a bit bigger than a foot and a half tall. Like, it's up to the top of my legs. But I'm short, so don't. I don't know. Okay, Darren said, feed the seagulls, then watch as they go after everyone's fish and chips. Oh, shoot, it jumped again. Okay. Luna said, not really going good, Alex, but that's life at the moment. It is what it is. It'll be needing to get boxes and tape to move a lot of things out and might move to the other side of the country. Alex said, you need to add some more garden videos to this channel, Hev. Yep. Garden and cooking videos. I've got a good turkey one where he's just running back and forward. Weird. He does some weird shit sometimes. Like he bolts across my lawn and then stops. Then he turns around, he bolts the other way, and then he stops and he turns around and bolts back again. And it's, I don't know, he's playing, I don't know, with himself. Okay, MJ said, Darren, they are the parasites of the sky, dislike them highly and love the animals. Darren said, worst thing is that seagull poop is invisible on ice cream. Oh. Alex said, oh no, Luna, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know you've not long moved either. Sending you love and prayers. Hope you can feel some relief. Yeah, I hope you're doing all right, Luna. Thinking of you and praying for you. Shannon said, I'm going to have a big bowl of hot homemade ham and pea soup. Deb said, speak of God, hope eyes as well. Yay. Shannon said, talking from experience, Darren, and I'm Kai too. Hope he's doing well. Out to lunch that I took. Alex said, moving is so stressful, especially if there are other stresses on top. I feel you, Luna. Out to lunch said I too, Deb. Deb said, yes, just bought the ingredients for that, Shannon. I'll make it today. Darren said, Shannon, why do you think I don't like eating outdoors? Boy just said, hi, Nina, love you. Shannon said, I guess it depends on your flavour. I like choc mint. MJ said, Darren, you start trouble, huh? Unsuspecting vacationers, you are in the corner laughing your ass off. You in Maine a couple of years ago? Darren said, lol, MJ, I wouldn't be that cruel, honest. Shannon said, vapours cough coming along nicely. Yeah, it's when I think it's when the coil starts to burn. Yeah, it's all right as long as you just don't try and inhale too much. Okay, where are we up to? Shannon said, fish don't have fingers. Flyby Stew said, you need to pack that vape in, do some research on them. Yeah, there's two sides of that research. I have, believe me. There's two different sides, and yeah, who knows? Alex said, I was literally just thinking of eyes too, Deb. Hope he's okay. Deb said, send our love to your mum. Oh, thanks, Deb. I will. Shannon said, but Scotsmen do, and they're delicious. Darren said, choc mint is the best. Deb said, great minds think alike. MJ said, Kai and his wife need to come back. Kai, come back. Timmy said, I just made beer battered fish and chips for night. Oh, yum. Oh, yum. Are you back from holiday, Timmy, or are you still out on your still out in the camper on the holiday, or are you back? Dolores said, hey, all, I'm having a real busy night, but wanted to drop and say hi, Hev, I'm praying for your mum. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, guys. D-Lee said, Eyes left a comment recently. He's doing okay, good. Shannon said, a man of taste and refinement, I say, Darren. Shannon said, yeah, a foot and a half is about one Joe Rogan. MJ said, hi, Dolores. Darren said, on the Alex Horn scale. Horn or home? Horn. Flyby Stew said, yo, Dolores, nice to see you again. Alex said, sending love and prayers to your mum, Hev. She's a strong woman, and being at your daughter's will be the best place for her. MJ said, Timmy, yum. MJ said, maybe he's the turkey, got kicked out. Oh, poor turkey. I feel sorry for him. Alex said, yummy, Timmy, yeah, definitely. Deb said, maybe you could put up a camera and film your yard. It sounds funny. Yeah, he is. He's funny when he takes off and starts running from from one end to the other. And it's just, he just stops and turns around and starts it's like a panic thing, And then he stops again and he turns around. It's just really weird. Alex said, yes, live backyard watch. Luna said, my little family says, hi, Heaven, we pray for your mum and send love. Oh, God love you. We'll pray for you too, doll. Shannon said, Hev ruined my Scotch fingers jokes. Lucky that. Dolores said, thanks, guys. This chat group is the best in YouTube. I really miss you guys when I can't make it. Alex said, Shannon. Flyby Stew said, I manifest well-being to your mum, Hev. Thank you, guys. Alex said, sneaking them in. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Yeah, I've got to go and see my mum today, and I don't know, I'm just having one of those weird days. I'm feeling a bit off and weird and, yeah, all that shit. So, oh dear. Okay, guys, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, if I got the right one, outro. Okay. Much love, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going live. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.